Okay, just to finish the notes that we had started today in class, looking at product and quotient rule. This problem looks like one where we are dividing two things. So we would think quotient rule, and quotient rule definitely works on this problem. But just like product, we talked about product rule, there's some ways to avoid doing it by simplifying. This would be one of them. Another way to write this function would be 3a squared plus square root of a is the same as 2a to the half power. If there's a single term on bottom, that means we could write this as two separate fractions here of this plus this. And then we could divide these out into single terms. So 3a squared over a is the same as just 3a. And 2a to the 1/2 power over a to the first power, if we have exponents that we're dividing, we subtract those. So this would be the same as 2a to the negative 1/2. Now if we just find the derivative of this, it would be much easier than having to do quotient rule. So our derivative on this problem would be derivative of 3a is just 3. On the next one, we're using our power rule here, bring down the negative 1/2 and multiply it to 2. So negative 1/2 times 2 would be negative 1. Our power of a now goes down 1. If we subtract 1 from negative 1/2, that would be negative 3/2. And so it looks like the derivative would be 3 minus a to the negative 3/2 power, or another way of writing that would be 3 over 1, or 3 minus 1 over, now it would be a to the positive 3/2, or we could write that as the square root of a to the 3rd power. So either one of these would be an acceptable answer here. So sometimes there is a way to avoid doing quotient rule, and if you can, it's probably easier than having to go through quotient rule. All right, last two problems. You're going to see these throughout the year, either on assignments or types of quizzes, tests. They're going to see if you can identify the rule that you would need to use, the derivative rule, without actually giving you a function. They're just going to give you maybe a couple functions up here with some values, and then they're going to see if you can use that to help you find the derivative. So this one wants us to find what is the derivative of function h at 3, at x equals 3. What would that be? Well, here's all they're telling us is that h equals this. Okay, so if we have these two functions being multiplied to each other, that tells us that this is a product rule problem. So we want to find the derivative by doing product rule. So product rule says the derivative of h here is going to be f, that function, times derivative of the second function, plus now g times derivative of function f. And they specifically want us now to find this at 3. So now you got to plug in 3 for all these x's. And what we can do now is use the values given to find a numerical answer for this. So if we go up to the numbers we know up here, now it's just substituting in and finding that. F of 3 looks like it's negative 6. Derivative of g at 3, there should be a 3. Derivative of g at 3 is negative 2. G at 3 is 4. Derivative of f at 3 is 7. Now just doing a little arithmetic here, we can solve and find the answer. Looks like 40 is the solution to this problem. Let's look at one more of those. This one, same values in the table, just a different setup here. This is division, so this one's looking to see if we can use quotient rule. Okay, so quotient rule for this one, derivative here for x is going to be low, which is Low is f of x times derivative of high minus high, which is g, times derivative of low, all over low squared. Okay, again, substitute in the values now. We want to find this at 3, so wherever there's an x, put a 3, and we can do that. F of 3 for this one is going to be negative 6. G at derivative of g at 3 is going to be negative 2 minus g at 3, which is going to be 4. Derivative of f at 3 is 7, all over f at 3, which is negative 6, and then that's being squared. So now again, just simplify using a little bit of arithmetic, we can find the answer. Got 12 minus 28 over negative 6 squared is going to be positive 36. If we subtract on top, we get that. Now just simplify this answer out. Looks like 4 would go into both of those. 4 goes into the top one 4 times, 4 goes into 36 9 times. Negative 4/9 would be the answer. Okay, so continue trying some of these out on your assignment.